Hey everybody, this is Flavio Romeo, and on this episode of the Towncast, with Mother's Day right around the corner, it's a couple of weeks away. We had the opportunity of talking to Steven Singer of Steven Singer Jewelers, and you may have heard him on the Howard Stern Show. You may have seen his billboards. He talks about some great products that they're selling for Mother's Day. He shares his journey of how he got involved in the jewelry business, and he has some great stories. He's been doing this for 50 years, and I think you guys are going to like it. All right. Enjoy the episode, everybody. Listen, Mother's Day is right around the corner. It is May. I don't even know when it is. It's May 14. It's right around the corner. And I got to tell you, there's no better place to buy your Mother's Day gifts than this place right here. You've probably heard the ads. I know you've seen the billboards, but I am so excited to have Steven Singer. As much as his billboards promote the I Hate Steven Singer, I got to tell you, I love Steven Singer. Steve, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Pleasure to be with you.
This is so cool. I have to tell you, this goes back to, and I know exactly when it was, 2007, when I was driving down to QVC. As soon as I got off the Turnpike and I got on the Penn Turnpike, as soon as I got on, there was the black billboard with the white lettering that looked like it was handwritten. It said, I hate Steven Singer. And I thought, what woman could have been scorned so much that she would pay for this billboard? And this went on for months and months and months because I didn't have a smartphone.
Well, that was the impression, and that was the intent, I should say, that we did. We wanted everybody to think that it was something nefarious. And for the longest time, people thought either I was cheating on my wife, it was an ex-girlfriend, an ex-wife, an ex-lover. There was a rumor I was a drug dealer. There was a rumor that I had cheated a customer. All there was a rumor, all different things. And we didn't do anything to squelch that. We wanted that to be the way that it happened. And it was funny because the way we actually launched it was to promote that. And as much as you want to get into it, we'll get into it. And I can tell you some funny I Hate Steven Singer stories.
Yeah. So when I saw it, because again, I had my razor, and there's no way to. So when the iPhone came out in 2008, I bought my iPhone. Another trip, and every time I went back home after my QVC trip, I would forget until I got back on the Penn Turnpike. So now I had my iPhone. I was so psyched. I'm in traffic, as everybody is on the Penn Turnpike.
Sure.
And I Google, and I go on IHateStevenSinger.com, and a jewelry store came up, and I have to admit, I was disappointed. Because I thought it was going to be some really intense story.
Well, the first year or so we had our website, what we did was our website looked like a regular jewelry kind of stuffy website, kind of like no disrespect to my very capable competitors, Tiffany's, but it looked like a Tiffany's website. It had classical music and had all the jewelry and all the flourishes on there. And after you were on it for several seconds, it looked like somebody hijacked it, like a record scratching off, and it came to a scream. And then you heard spray paint shaking up, and it spray painted "I Hate Steven Singer" on it. And then it took over, and it had like angry font and everything. And then people would call up. We would get between 50 and 500 calls a day, and people would say, I don't know what you did. I've been a customer for 20 years. I love you guys. I don't know what happened. I'm still going to come in, but somebody hijacked your website. Do you know somebody stole your website? Do you know somebody hijacked your voicemail? Your voicemail says like So what we had done, since you asked, we only had one billboard because I wanted to look like it was an angry customer, somebody angry. I didn't put billboards all over. That was intentional. Right at the last exit for Center City, when you come off Interstate 95 to go to Wars Row. And then we spray in the middle of the night. We did the building on the outside of the building as "I Hate Steven Singer" all over the windows. It looks like somebody spray painted on. They're actually stickers. And our website, like I said, we turned at midnight. We made it switch over to the new website, and we changed our voicemail to look somebody hijacked it. So we wanted the whole thing to be hijacked, and we didn't put any kind of press release. We didn't do anything. We just wanted to let it simmer. And everybody thought I was nuts. Nobody wanted me to do it. It took actually several years between the concept of doing it and actually doing it, because no radio or TV or billboard company would outrun it. They would not. They said it was a stupid idea. They wouldn't do it. My staff was 100% against it. My family was against it. My everybody, all the vendors, anybody that I knew, and everybody in the advertising and marketing community said that was the dumbest thing ever. Finally, after several years of negotiation, WYSP 94.1 was the first station in Philadelphia, made me sign a 3-inch thick legal agreement. They had a notary there, they had their lawyer there, and I had already been doing business with them for like 2 decades at that point. And they said, "This is such a dumb idea, such a bad idea." They made me sign it that I would hold them harmless, that I wouldn't sue them, that they thought it was their best advice, that this was going to ruin my business almost immediately. And it was such a bad idea that I had to not pay. I had to pay in advance, not even COD. And I had terms. In other words, you get terms when you order, you get 30 days or whatever it is. And I've been doing business with them fine for decades. I had to prepay for the next few months for the advertising, because they thought I was going to go out of business so fast and go bankrupt so fast that I wouldn't even be able to pay the bills. A year later, they asked me to speak at their national sales convention in New York and talk to everybody in Xfinity and CBS Radio, and see what I was doing. And a year later, the billboard company that wanted to do it put us on a Billboard magazine, the cover Billboard of the Year and all that. So we won several Addies, which is like an Emmy Award for advertising, for that. So a year later, I was a genius. A year before, I was an idiot. So it's the way it worked out.
So
But
this
fun
was
story.
this was your idea. How did you even come up with the idea? How did the whole thing happen?
It wasn't my idea. It was a friend of mine's idea who was also a customer. And the true story is, I'll give you the abridged, the elevator version, because the true story is it takes about 20 minutes and we don't have that much time. But the elevator version of it is, I was sitting at a case. I was waiting on a friend of mine for an anniversary ring. He had 20 years before, for his wife's birthday, got her a very nice diamond ring. Now it's 20 years later and he's getting her an anniversary ring. And there's a young couple sitting at the next case over, and somebody else was waiting, and that I had sold an engagement ring as well, and somebody else was just sizing on there. And the woman, the new fiance, newly engaged young lady, said, "Oh my God, I love you. I love the ring. I love the store. I've been waiting. This is like my dream ring. It's the greatest thing. I love Steven Singer. I love this store." And she wanted to give me a hug and a kiss. So she gave me a hug and a kiss, and she was saying how much she loved me. The guy just spent $10,000 on a ring. I didn't do anything. All I did was help them get the ring. I was like, this guy's been dating her for, she can spend 10 grand on a ring. This girl's telling me how much she loves me. And the other fellow that I was waiting on, named Dennis, he turns around with a deadpan look and looks at the and says, "You love Steven Singer? You love him? I hate him. You want to know why?" And the girls thinks, "Oh no, must be an angry customer. It must be some kind of complaint or a nut." She goes, "No, that's okay. Let me tell you. 20 years ago, I got a ring right here in the store for my wife. And we had 2 grown kids in college. I was just finishing up all the payments, all braces, college, everything is done. My payroll, they're all my payroll, it's done. I got this ring. My wife and I celebrated a little bit too much that night. 9 months later, we had our 3rd baby, which we didn't plan for. Now I'm up with bottle feedings and diapers. I have another college. I have all these other things, and it's all his fault. And I hate Steven Singer, right? And it was true. So we said, "Oh, that was so funny. It was hysterical." And, the girl laughed. Everybody laughed. We did like that. And we were talking, we should make that into a commercial. And I said, "Oh, nobody, you can't do that. You're in the love business. How can you? I hate Steven Singer." I said, "That's perfect. Everybody goes left, we go right." And we did it. The only problem is nobody else would run it, none of the stations. So it took a long time to get it on, but from concept to implementation. But it was the best things are always true, and that's true. Then it evolved to all the competition hates us because we have a thing called the perfect price, and we have a lifetime trade in where your dime's always worth what you paid for it. And we have the best guarantee in America for jewelry and diamonds. There's nobody that beats our guarantees and warranties, all along with free ship. We really do everything we can to make it easy and
Well,
fun to buy a diamond. So everybody else hates us for that reason.
right. So all the industry people hate you because of what you do.
Yes, exactly.
So let me ask your background. How did you, because I'm always fascinated by how people get into the businesses that they're in. How did you get into the jewelry business? Was it something from, or was it a family business, or how did that
Now,
all?
like most things in life, it was an accident. I was in high school and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I took an aptitude test. It said I should be an accountant, which I would have been a horrible accountant, by the way. And my father had a refrigeration and air conditioning business. He was an electrician by trade, and I worked with him, since the time I was a little kid, maybe 9 or 10. And I worked, and I would still continue to work with him and help on different things. And he had a few other people working there and doing it. And he said to me, go somewhere where you could work in air conditioning with a suit and a tie and try something. I'm going to teach you everything I know no matter what. And you could always do this, but try something else, do something else and see what it's like. Because we were up on a roof and it was 110 degrees on a roof putting in air conditioning units and things like that. It was not, it was a fine way to make a living, but it was, hard work. And so I had gotten a part-time summer job or a full-time, excuse me, summer job, part-time in the beginning when I was still in high school, senior in high school. Before I graduated, I got a job on Jewelers Row. And it was part-time, for the first few months, and then it was good full-time over the summer. So I wanted to see what it was like to have a real job in a real place where I wore a suit and in air conditioning. And I did it, and one thing led to another. I was going to leave to go to Temple to take some business courses, maybe accounting or whatever. I signed up to Temple University, Philadelphia, and I said, well, I'm going to leave. I'm going to give you my note. They said, well, you can't leave now. It's going to be Christmas and stuff. You got to stay. So I liked it. I said, okay, I'll take off a semester and I'll start in January after Christmas. I'll take off, the whole semester and I'll start after the break. So I did that, and then I liked it. And one person retired, somebody else left, and something else happened. And before you knew it, I was taking gemological courses, and I was reading it, and I was going to the jewelry shows in the industry event, things like that. And I really started to like it. And I said, all right, I'm like a year off, and I'm going to start the second year like that. That was 48 years ago, almost 49 years ago now, and I never looked back, and I never got my deposit back from Temple. Oddly enough, my son went to Fox School at Temple, and I said, listen, I put a $500 deposit in 1974. I'd like to know if I could apply this, and with interest, it's got to pay for his whole tuition. Didn't get any money back, but
they,
that's the way
they didn't give you the credit.
no, I got no money back on that. But yeah, so I never ended up going to college. I never went to school, and I did take gemological courses and some other history things, but never formal college. And here I am, 48 years later.
Now, did you start in the jewelry business in Philly?
In Philadelphia, on George Row on Sampson Street, maybe 200 feet from our store that we have now. I was there. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome because that whole area. So the picture behind me, you guys can see it right here. This is the corner of Walnut and South 8th, right?
8th Street, 8th and Walnut. Yes, we're on the
8th.
other corner of 8th and Walnut. That's how we do it. The actual address is 739 Walnut, but it's on the corner of 8th and Walnut. It's a city block long store right on the corner.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And right across the street is great parking for those that are in the area that want to go down there and see the assortment of products they have. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Very easy parking right across the street.
Free
But
parking.
free
We
parking.
allow it for you. Free parking, self park, open 24 hours a day. 50 feet from our door. We're happy to do it.
Free parking. Where do you find that in any city in America? You don't find free parking. right across the street from the store. But the website is awesome. So I learned about it because I hate stevensinger.com. I know you have a couple of different websites. What's the easiest way for people to see the products that you guys have?
Well, go to IHateStevenSinger.com and you can see all of the offerings that we have. And then or come to the other corner of 8th and Walnut, and we'd be happy to do it in person. But we also have, if we do Zoom, we do Teams, we do live chat, we do phone, we'll do social media, any way that people want to communicate up with us. We are doing it. We have people that work in the store, in the showroom, or have worked in the store, in the showroom, all across the country, and on the West Coast, in the middle of the country, certainly on the East Coast. So we have a great team of people that are happy to help you either virtually, in person, or hybrid, and any way that the people want to do it. The website changes daily, but we have so much inventory that we just physically get it all on the website as quickly as we would like. So maybe the website has 5%, maybe 8% of our total inventory. So it's great to shop. Don't get me wrong, websites is pretty impressive, but not the same as going into. We have a giant walk-in vault, a bank vault, a class bank vault, that actually several people work inside of it. That's how big it is, and we just have a tremendous story. I can imagine after almost 50 years of doing this.
So you have a little experience in jewelry.
We've done our George Row in Philadelphia is the oldest and first shopping district in the United States. It started in 1851. And it's like Philadelphia has the first residential street is Alfred's Alley. It has the first theater, which is the Walnut Street Theater, which is around the corner from us, or right, not even around the corner, down the street. We have the first eye hospital, the first hospital, Pennsylvania Hospital, the first fire company, the first fire insurance company. There's a lot of firsts in Philadelphia, and Jewelers Row, like I said, was the first shopping district in the United States, and by default, the first jewelry district, and it's the oldest and the second largest jewelry district in the U.S.
So I know I've heard you thousands of times on the Howard Stern show. How did that whole thing come about? Because I know it's like you guys are buddies. Every time you're on the show, you guys
Well, Howard,
best friends.
it was very, very lucky for us. What happened was I go to New York once a week or so, and he used to be on the afternoons on NBC radio in New York, and he's nuts, and I would listen to it, and my brother-in-law and sister who live in upstate New Jersey, told me about him, and I would listen to him, when I could, when I was driving. In the old days, you couldn't get satellite or any other things. So I listened to him when I was close to New York, when I would get that signal. And I said, boy, if he ever comes to Philadelphia, I'm going to advertise with him. And this was before the website, before national things. This was in the late 80s, 1986, 1987. Well, in right around that time, he did come to Philadelphia. His second market that he ever got any of the people to work in was Philadelphia. It was Philadelphia. I mean, it was New York. Then he went to Philly. Then he went to Washington, and then he went national. But Philadelphia was a test case. He couldn't launch it and make it work because just like I Hate Steven Singer, nobody wanted me, but they said radio had to be local. It's not going to work nationally. You got to talk about the schools and the weather and traffic locally. And he said, no, everybody's the same everywhere. I don't believe that. So Philadelphia was the test case. When he came to Philadelphia, he's a little different, off color, let's say, for a lot of people's taste. Especially then, it was a different show than it is now. And McDonald's, Coke, Pepsi, GM, nobody would advertise with them. Nobody, no corporate people. And so we advertised with them, and we were one of the original, not the original, but one of the original when he came to Philadelphia, and we advertised it. And my whole criteria is I don't care what you say about what you say in the spots. Just if you can mention my name once in a while, that will be good. And so he would sing our spots. He would do all kinds of crazy things. And the relationship built because he needed a sponsor and needed sponsors desperately. We were a good sponsor. And at one point, this is much earlier, the biggest sponsor of Howard Stern show in the United States. And we develop a friendship and a relationship. Just because, like I said, we were there. And Philadelphia has a very warm spot in his heart because that if that didn't work, everything else, nothing else would have worked. He would have been stuck as a regular local jock in New York, and that would have been it. So the fact that that worked very well, and the fact that he was so great, and he was such a great promoter, and I caught on fire, and one thing led to another, and he just did wonderful spots. One time he was doing our address and he was trying to explain where we are, and he said, well, we were across the street at the time. He says they're 138 and a half South A Street. That's in the Walnut A Street. It's A1. He goes, listen, you know where it is. And he stopped saying the address after that. It's too confusing. So people call up and say, Howard, tell me I know where. I don't know where. How do I know where you're at? And it was things like that he would do it. And then more recently, this was maybe, I don't know, 3, 4 years ago, whatever. One of the spots when Harvey Weinstein was in the news with all the stuff like that. They were talking in the news. They were talking about the case and the criminal, and he's going to get indicted and all that. And he goes, "Let me tell you about my friend Steven Singer. He will never rape you when you go in the store. He will never rape you. He'll never come in a robe and like that. He said, he may give you a little reach around, squeeze on the ass, but that's it. That's all he'll do. So if you go to Steven Singer Jewelry, buy a ring or not, he'll give you free parking. He'll ship it for free both ways, and maybe you get a little reach around. But that's it. No Harvey Weinstein stuff. You never have about that with my friend Steven Singer. And because he knows he can say anything with us and do anything, sometimes he sings a spot, sometimes he makes up songs about it, sometimes he talks about whatever. And when it's fun and when it's entertaining and it's in the body of the show, it's much better than a dry commercial read that says your hours or location or do that. And we are the polar opposite. Like I said, everybody goes left. We're in the love business. I talk about hate. People love to hate me and that type of thing. So everybody goes left, we go right. So it's a little bit different philosophy, but we think ours is sticky, and people have some fun with it.
Well, I have to say, on a personal note, that I had the opportunity of meeting Steve a few years ago through my daughter-in-law, and we had the opportunity of starting to do some business together and travel to China together.
This is
And
true.
I have to say, and I know I've said it to you in the past, but I'm going to say it again publicly, and everybody that's listening, you are one of the I've I've been selling for 36 years. It's my 36th year, and you truly are the best person to work with. You are honest, you are loyal, you are true to your word, and you really want to do the best for your customer.
Well, thank you so much for the words, but it's it's something that's always instilled in me that there's a saying that's not much stealing it from somebody, and I'm sure I'll butcher it, but it's something like if you treat people great, this will amaze some people and astonish the rest, and you just like always do the right thing, that type of thing. And I always thought about my parents, my grandparents when I was younger, and now my wife and my kids and my family. I never wanted to do anything that would embarrass anybody. And I always wanted to feel like if they were getting treated, how would I want them to get treated? And I have to tell you, it's a selfish thing for us. You know what I mean? We benefit way more from it than everybody else because I don't know if it's karma. I can't even explain it. But every time, like I said, the nicer you treat people, the nicer it comes back to you in spades. And I've had every single time, like I can't even tell you how many instances that we've done something and we've gotten something 10 times better back. And not because we did it for that reason, just the way it is. And it's just as easy to treat people nice as to not treat them nice. And why not? It's basically, like I said, our customer warranty is whatever the customer wants it to be. I mean, we'll take, it's.
And the other amazing thing is that how much you do for the customer. I mean, between the shipping, the guarantees, you truly want the customer to be happy. And this is not, by the way, this is not a corporation. This is not Amazon. It's not Walmart.com. This is this is the guy. This is the guy. You
Yeah, we're
look,
slightly smaller than Amazon
you
by
look.
a couple 100 billion, I think. But now we are. Yeah, it's. I was interviewed by the Wall Street Journal several years ago, and also consequently not long ago by Bloomberg, and they asked me to describe the business, and I say if Walmart and Tiffany's got together and had a baby, it'd be Steven Singer Jewelers. Like we have the quality and the styling and the niceties that Tiffany has, but we have the logistics and the pricing of Walmart. And it's like the perfect blend of what we think is the right way to do it. It doesn't, real jewelry and nice jewelry, fine jewelry doesn't have to be expensive. And we just treat people great every day, and it works out. Like I said, it's been 40, we're going into our 44th year of having the store, and I'm going to be turning the corner on 50 years of being in the jewelry business. So it's a long time.
So you started when you were what, 3 years old?
17. I was a baby. I was still in high school. I was still in
17?
high school. Yep. Yes.
Really?
And as a fun side fact, there's a bar local. It's not local now. It's national, called Chicky and Pete's. It's a seafood crab house and sport bar, and they have, I don't know, locations all over the country in the sports arenas and things like that, in the basketball and football and baseball arenas, and they're national. And he graduated with me at Pete Cherokee from Chicky and Pete's. And my other friend, Matt Baker, graduated with me. And we were voted in high school most likely not to succeed, number one, two, and three. Well, Pete's got this several $100 million, very, very successful sports bar franchise. Matt is the dean of the medical college at Jefferson University, and I'm a dopey jeweler. So, but it was a fun fact.
So at your next reunion, you can go back and say, by the way, we, you know, we did okay.
Yeah, we're here. We're here.
So, all right. So for the people that are watching, people that are listening, what's your, of all the jewelry you sell, all the products that you sell, what's your pride and joy? Like if someone were to say, I don't know what I want, you tell me. It's Mother's Day. I want to get something for my wife. I want to get something for my mom. How would you direct them? What would you recommend?
Well, I would. It was be a two-part answer. The first thing I would say to you is one of the things I really like about the jewelry industry, and the first place that I ever worked, we had pieces that were $1. I'm not kidding, that we sold like for charity, for like church organizations and Shriners Club and fundraising organizations that they would sell that would be very, very inexpensive, that they sold by the gross, certainly by the dozens, but usually the units would sell in a gross. And we had things that were hundreds of thousands of dollars. We had the whole spectrum. It was an amazing operation that they had. And I really came to like anything that was pretty, whether it was $5 or $50,000. If it was pretty and it was nice and you got enjoyment out of it, I liked it. I don't have a stick up my ass where it has to be, this fancy schmancy piece. It has to, that type of thing. It just has to be something that is nice and the people are going to enjoy. And everybody in every price range should be able to do that. So we have 24 karat gold dip roses, as you know, and they start at just $59. They last forever. They have a lifetime guarantee. They get free shipping. It's in a beautiful gift box, a beautiful presentation. You get a free Mother's Day card with it. You can get it in the store with free parking, as you said, or you can get it shipped to you for free. You get them in time for Mother's Day. And then we have all these different colors and all these exclusive things that we make, and you can build a bouquet. So somebody, if you're a 16-year-old kid or a 17-year-old kid and you're working at a part-time job at a drugstore or something like that, and you want to get your mom something, or get your grandmom something like that, or just an I love you gift. It's a great gift. It's a great thing to start the journey where they're going to have it, and it's going to be great. We have a diamond necklace. It's a precious sterling silver and diamond necklace called I Love You to the Moon and Back. And it's a great thing for Mother's Day. For under $100, you get a gift that lasts forever, has an adjustable chain. It looks phenomenal. It looks great. And it's something that is just absolutely wonderful. And it's a great gift, like I said, for like a father that has young kids and get for his wife from the kids, that type of thing is something she has forever. And then we have, I mean, I have diamond studs for $7,000, and big diamond rings and diamond bracelets and things for that are anywhere from 200 or 300 to 20 or 30,000, everywhere in between and higher. So we really cover the whole gamut, and it's really whatever is good for you. We like it, but we have a lot of people that start out in the jewelry buying journey that will start out with a 24 karat gold rose, or start out with a I love you to the moon and back pendant, and then build on that. And you see them come back year after year, occasion after occasion. And that's kind of what we enjoy. So it's not like a home run gift. I wouldn't say like it's a special, thing. I mean, there's things that I like and certain things that I think are pretty, and certainly rare things are nice. But we're not jewelry snobs. Let's put it that way. We're in the love business.
Well, I speaking of the love business, I love the gold dipped roses because it's so unique.
I happen to have one right here.
Yeah, look at that. Look at
This
that.
is our brand new rose. It's called Neon Green for this Mother's Day. It's covered in 24 karat gold. It's absolutely magnetic. It's a color that really lights up. I mean, it really is terrific. And it comes, excuse my reach, it comes in this beautiful gift package, delivered right to your door for free with a lovely Mother's Day card. And it's an absolutely fantastic, and it's covered in 24 karat gold. Like I said, you never have to do anything. You don't have to water it. You don't have to do anything to it except have it and enjoy it. And we've even come out with some beautiful displays for it, where you can put it in a single display and put it on a desk, on the table, in a dining room, wherever you like it. You could just lay it flat. And we have these from a single rose to a dozen roses. So if you want to build a bouquet that lasts forever, and she has this beautiful colored bouquet with all these different color roses, it's a win-win-win. And people really like it. And most guys, I don't know how many people that would listen to your podcast are men, but most guys, no disrespect, are dumb and are like me, and they don't know what to do. So this is a no-brainer. You can get it for Christmas, or Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, birthday, anniversary. You get one every year and build it. I have guys that get it for when they're little girls, and they get it every year, and then they give them a bouquet. They get a dozen when they're 12, and they get 18 when they're 18, and 21 when they're 21, that kind of thing. And it's great. It's just very, very nice, very easy, and you don't have to think about it.
Well, and I tell you, if you guys go to IHateStevenSinger.com and you take a look at the gold dipped roses, the amazing thing is, one, it's an actual rose. It's a real rose. There's nothing fake about that rose. There's a live rose that's embedded in the color, in the gold. It's 100% real rose. But
Matter of fact, we have our website and our YouTube and Instagram. You can link to it, and you can see how they're made and see some of the process. And we're one right now where I cut a rose in half live, or I just cut it and break it all up so they can see what's inside of it. I show them the components and everything. Don't do that at home. I don't want everybody cutting the roses in half. But it's funny. I'll have people write me once in a while, since it has a lifetime guarantee. And they say, "Oh, my dog chewed it, it broke. We rolled it over with air. Something happened. It fell on the floor." And they say, "Well, I looked inside and I could see the leaf, and I could see the rose and the stem and all, the things." They're like amazed, that that is. But yes, they're all natural, all real petals, real roses, real stems, real thorns in some cases, and covered in real 24 karat gold. That's why it lasts forever.
And when you go to the website, take a look at the reviews. Because Amazon, Walmart, all these places have reviews, and 3 stars, 4 stars, 2 stars, whatever it is. 4.9 out of 5. I don't know any place that I've ever been to online that has a 4.9 out of 5.
Well, it's easy for us. I mean, listen, we're human. We screw up from time to time. Things happen, but we'll either return it, repair it, refund it, remake it, exchange with the customer. Like I said, if you don't want our product, we don't want your money. That's basically it. We want you to be happy, and these are things that last forever. And especially like an engagement ring, that's not something that can be like 90%. It has to be 110%. This is something you buy it once. You know, you don't oil it, you don't water it, you don't paint it, you wear it and enjoy it. So she has to be over the moon. She has to love it. It has to be perfect, not just okay. And on another podcast, I'll tell you the foolproof way we do that to make sure that that happens, which is free, by the way. But you really believe, it's not like you buy a sweater, for 50 or whatever it is, and you like it, you wear it once in a while, but you don't love it. Jewelry is something you really have to, we want people to love it, especially all jewelry, but especially the engagement ring, because that's a sign of affection, a show of adornment. It's something different, part of the marriage contract. And most women, when they're girls, they look their whole life. They wait, they're thinking about it, looking at them, doing it, scheme, dreaming. It transcends, like a regular gift or regular items. So we don't want to ever be the obstacle, that would make that not be perfect. And let's face it costs us just as much to make it ugly as make it nice. So we will make it nice.
Well, I could tell you, I have a friend of mine from China. I've been traveling to China for many years. A friend of mine from China is coming this week, actually. And he said to me, it's my wife's 40th birthday. I want to make sure that we go to a jewelry store. I want to get her a diamond ring.
She could be the next I Hate Steven Singer baby.
And I said, I know exact, and I am bringing him to your store
Can't wait to
next
meet
week.
him.
And to bring him to your store because I said there's no better place. And the fact that you stand behind your product, and I know having been working with you for several years, I know how passionate you are about the product, but more so how passionate you are about the customer. If the customer is not happy, then what's the point?
Yeah, right. In other words, they have to say it's right. Whatever I say, whatever you say, whatever, it doesn't matter. They have to be happy, and that's no ifs, ands, or buts. And it's funny because my staff always complains now that I've ruined everybody because they say when they go somewhere else, if the other store doesn't make it right or the other business they don't get that same level of service, they feel scorned. If they call and they don't deliver it on time, they don't, whatever it is, they just can't believe that they're not giving a higher level of service. And listen, let's face it, we all suffered a lot during the pandemic and supply chains and all these different things. So we're just starting to get back to some degree of normalcy. And I want to make people feel good about it.
It's IHateStevenSinger.com. That's the best way to go. I mean, you're never going to forget that. I've never forgotten it. I've seen billboards now. I drive from New Jersey to Chicago. I see the billboards everywhere. I always point it out. I know I take a picture and I send it to you. Like, look where I am. And I love the fact that I'm the same way. People go right, you go left. I don't believe in just being the just riding that steady line that everybody else rides on. The fact that you did that, the fact that you came out with those billboards, I hate Steven Singer, it it absolutely worked. And I love when you tell the story about how everybody else said you were insane, and yet
Well, they
here
were right about that, but this was still a good idea.
here
But
I am driving on the Penn Turnpike when I finally got my iPhone in 2008, Googling in traffic, and then realizing that it's you.
yep. Well, and if anybody cares, like I said, the whole story is on the website at the I Hate Steven Singer story, and the original radio spot that won the awards and stuff is downloaded, the MP3 for that, and we keep building on it, and it's just a lot of fun.
Listen, it's Mother's Day's coming up, but it's not just Mother's Day, it's anytime. And the gold dipped roses, I have to tell you, the colors they have, whatever color your loved one loves, whether it's her birthstone or her favorite color, they have an assortment of colors. They have them in 24 karat gold, they have them in rose gold, they have them in platinum. The
Yep.
colors are amazing. And here's the thing, you can buy your loved one a dozen roses, and guess what? In 2 weeks, you're throwing them in the garbage. These roses last forever. And when you look at the testimonials on the website, you're going to see how precious these are to these people.
I'll tell you what's funny. Originally, We only sold them at Valentine's Day because it took so much effort and so much, it was a Herculean to get all these things done. Then we had a revolt. People will say, well, listen, I want it for Mother's Day. And we had this. Then we sold them for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. Then they wanted Christmas. Then I would get people all year round. They would call and complain because they wanted for a birthday. And it was a customer. We didn't actually want to do it. We wanted to just keep it special, just do it, a couple of key times a year, just have Valentine's Day initially. And the customers just demand it. So now we do it, all year round. And it's become a little bit bigger of an enterprise. But I'll tell you, you asked me a question. I want to recant. I want to change my answer. You asked me what my favorite thing is, favorite chore. I think the favorite thing is the I love you gifts, because people expect it for Christmas or Mother's Day or Valentine's or birthday. The people that come in and buy jewelry just because I love you, just to say I love you, or I'm thinking about you, whatever price, whether it's a gold rose or a pair of studs, a diamond bracelet, a pendant. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Like I said, we have gifts in every, you can shop on the website by category, by price, like gifts under 100, gifts under 200, under 500, whatever price range you like, you can do that. And I think the I love you gifts have the most meaning and the most significance, because it's like any, you don't expect it. When you get that, I think that does a little something, that little something extra. That's what jewelry does. It's the way it makes you feel. And nothing says I love you like a gift that lasts forever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Steve, I tell you, I love your business. I love what you do. I love the way you go to market. I love the way you take care of your customer. It would be great if everybody did that, and everybody really, you're really thoughtful when it comes
Oh,
to
thank you so much for the
customers.
kind of words. We appreciate it. But we're very, very lucky. We have great customers. We have customers for 4 decades, over 4 decades. I have, now it's what's blowing my mind is I have, people's children and now grandchildren. So I can't believe I'm this old that I'm having people's grandchildren. I sold an engagement ring to originally. Now I got a grandchild. It's like, that's freaking me out a little bit, but it's very rewarding and it's very humbling, and it's great that we get to share in people's special times in their life.
Well, I'm going to sign off. Don't go away. I'm going to sign off, and I'll come back to you. Listen, guys, it's Mother's Day, but you heard what Steven said. Any day is a good day to say I love you, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, daughter, son, whatever it is. The rose, look at that. And that lasts forever. That is guaranteed to last forever. And it's 100% real. Rather than giving a rose that's going to die in 2 weeks, this rose will last forever. So I encourage you to go to IHateStevensinger.com, take a look at what they have on the website. But if you're in the area, take the trip. It's not that far, and it's free parking in downtown Philly on the corner of Walnut and 8th Street. Go in, tell them you heard it, and find one of those I love you gifts. It's a great time to do that for moms, and do it for dads, do it for daughters, sons, whatever it is, grandmas, grandpas, and just tell them you love them. And Steve, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
I appreciate it. All right, don't go away. Listen, guys, have a great Mother's Day. God bless all your moms for all they've done, and just enjoy each other and have a great Mother's Day. All right, be well, everybody.